Seth Curry is 74 inches tall. Y'all know who he is?
Yeah.
All right, he's a basketball player. Noah Craig is 53 inches tall. We measured him this morning. How much taller is Seth Curry than Noah? There is more than one way to do this. So, I could draw just imaginary stick figures, right? I'm going to draw one really tall one.
That's tall.
And that would be the basketball player, correct? Then I would draw a really short one. And that's Noah. Okay? Down at the bottom is where they are both at 0 inches tall. We know that Noah is 53 inches tall. Is Seth Curry 53 inches tall?
No.
He's not. He's not 50.
He's 74.
He's got to be at least 73 inches tall, right?
Yeah. 73. His body.
He's huge. So he's 53 inches tall, but he is what?
74.
He's 53 inches tall, but he's more. Right? He's 53 and then a lot more. Okay? So we know that Seth Curry goes from the red 0 past the 53 all the way up to what? 74 inches tall. This is the same thing as a number line, only it's going vertical, up and down, instead of horizontal, across. What the word problem wants me to figure out is how much taller Seth Curry is than Noah. So, or another way of thinking about it is, how much would Noah have to grow to be as tall as Seth Curry, right? So he's got a lot of growing up to do till he gets to be that tall. Okay? Let's say that Noah grew 10 inches. Okay? If Noah grew 10 inches, how tall would that make him?
63.
It would make him 63 inches tall. Is he as tall as Seth Curry yet?
No.
No. So he's still taller. How much taller? Well, we don't know. Let's grow Noah another 10 inches. Where would that put him?
73.
73. Notice where my 73 line is. It's very close to my 74 line. So there's another 10 inches that Noah needs to grow. Is he as tall as Seth Curry yet? No. Almost. Almost. There is, how much does he need to grow?
1 inch.
All right, so from right here to right here is 1 more inch. Now he's a tall boy. Okay, but what is the answer to the question though? Because Noah didn't really grow, right? We're just imagining that he did so that we can figure out the answer to the question. We're adding. So we started at 53 and we added 10. We pretended that he grew 10 inches to get him to 63 inches. Then we pretended that he grew what? 10 more inches to get to 73. Then we added, or we pretended that he grew 1 more inch to get him to 74. The question is, how much taller? How much taller, guys?
21.
All right, so the basketball player is 21 inches taller than Noah. Yes, sir. LeBron James is 81 inches tall. Mr. Kennedy is 69 inches tall. How much taller is LeBron James than Mr. Kennedy? Now, I drew a picture of a stick figure of somebody who represents LeBron James. That picture is taller than Mr. Kennedy. Okay? Mr. Kennedy and LeBron James are both how tall when their feet are on the floor, where at the floor, they both start out at what? 0. Okay? Now, Mr. Kennedy stops at what? 69 inches. All right, my basketball career just never really went anywhere because I'm very, very
Short.
for a basketball player, right? And really, if you think about it, LeBron James is pretty tall. Seth Curry is not that tall. He's just really, really good. He's just really good. So what we're going to do is we're going to pretend that Mr. Kennedy took some magic growth medicine, okay? Magic growth medicine. He's going to grow to be as tall as LeBron James, right? How tall? How much would he need to grow? Okay, let's say Mr. K grew 10 inches. If Mr. K grows 10 inches, then how tall would he be?
79.
He would be 79 inches tall. Am I as tall as the basketball player yet?
No.
No. All right. How much taller do I need to get? Of 1. So if I go 1, that's going to be tough. If I go 1 more inch up, that gets me to, from 79, now I'm 80. Am I as tall as he is? No. But I'm going to make sure I show that was 1. So now what do I have to do, guys? All right, add 1 more. Did I really grow? No. Is there a magic medicine that makes people get that much taller? All right. Well, if there was a magic medicine that made Mr. K get taller so he could play professional basketball, how much taller did he get? How much taller did he get?
81.
Joe?
21.
I didn't get 21 inches taller.
22. 12.
I got 12 inches taller. So I know that he is 12 inches taller than me. The number sentence that goes with that, though, the equation that would represent that would be 69 plus 12 inches equals 81 inches. Now, he's really 80 inches. I just gave him 1 inch because I like him. Yeah, if you look him up, he's really...
I like stuff.
Who?
Curry.
Well, we'll put him in the next story problem, okay? We're going to show it using a number line. Okay, this is a second way. If I want a number line, I know that they're both 0 at the foot, at the floor, at the beginning, right? They're both 0, right? One of them comes first and the other one comes second. Which one comes first?
69.
And who is that?
And that's Mr. K.
All right, so that's Mr. K. Then who comes second? All right, the man comes second, and he is 81. LJ. Get it? All right, so we're going to start. We're going to start at LeBron James, and we're going to cut his head off. Not really. We're just going to subtract back. Whoop. We're going to subtract back what? If I subtract back 10, wait a minute, I better do it this way. If I subtract back 10, or if I cut 10 inches off of LeBron James, then how tall would he be? Somebody said it. 71. So my first equation would be 81 minus 10 equals 71. Did you write it down? Then what do I have left? 2. I need to take 2 more inches away from him to make him the same height as Mr. K. Only he's going to look a lot goofier, and his basketball career will be over. Yes.
Yes.
All right. 71 minus 2 gets me to Mr. K, because he's the 69 inches. That's how much taller LeBron James is than Mr. K. I'm going to do the 3 problems on the back as quick as possible. I recommend just kind of slowing it down, hitting pause as often as you can or need to, so we can get through these. The table shows 4 animals and the record age, the oldest that the animal lived and then obviously died. Okay, so how many more years did the oldest monkey live than the oldest parrot? All right, so one way to represent this could be on a number line. Since time, when we're talking about time is in a line instead of up and down like height of the basketball players. So you've got birth at age 0. Both the parrot and the monkey were 0. The parrot lived to be 35. The monkey lived to be 53. So parrot dies when it's 35 years old. Monkey is born at 0 and lives to be 53 and dies. So the monkey lived to be 35 years old, but he didn't die. How many more years did the oldest monkey live than the oldest parrot? So we could start at 35, and we could say, well, we know he lived 10 more years to get to 45 years old. So 35 plus 10 is 45. He didn't die at 45. He lived 5 more years to get to 50. And then 3 more years to get to 53. How many more years did the monkey live than the parrot? Well, the parrot died right here at 35. Parrot died at 35. Monkey lived 10, 15, 16, 17, 18 more years. The answer to our question is 18. A young alligator is 9 years old. 0 to 9. How many more years will it need to live to tie the record for the oldest alligator? This is number 3. I think I skipped number 2. So make sure you've gone to number 3. So the oldest alligator lived from birth to 66. So we know that the oldest alligator lived to be 9. A young alligator is 9. How many more years does it need to live? Well, it needs to keep going. It better not die. Needs to go one more year to get to 10. Needs to go 50 years to get to be 60 years old. And then 6 years to get to 66 years old. So this alligator up top needs to go 57 more years so 9 plus 57 equals 66. He's 9 years old now. That's what the 9 represents. He wants to tie for the longest life of any alligator that's ever lived to be 66. So he needs to live for another 57 years. I'll let you do number 2 on your own, and hopefully the video will help. Well, I tricked you. I'm going to go ahead and do number 2 for you, or with you. Alright, so the oldest alligator lived to be 66. The oldest eel lived to be 88. Okay, so one way that we can subtract, we're going to use subtraction this time, but we're going to subtract back to the alligator, the oldest alligator, to find out how many more years. This is 66 years for the eel. This is 66 years for the alligator. So the alligator died, but the eel kept on living till he was 88. So we're going to subtract back. If I subtract back 10, subtract back 10, that gets me to 78. Subtract back another 10, that gets me to 68. And then subtract back 2 to get to 66. The eel lived 22 years longer. 88 minus the 22 gets us to the alligator. How many more years will the oldest alligator need to live to be as old as the oldest eel? Same thing. The alligator needs to live 2 more years to get to 68, and 20 more years to get to 88. 22 years. You can add up or subtract back. Just make sure you know what the number represents.